cost elite loadout. So we got 514 total cost for Mr. Saya. Over here we got Death Watch and Diomedes for the early game, and then we got the Imperial Knight Paladin. Actually using Paladin's command, so I expect we're going to see some Devastator Attack Marine play. He's got Attack Marine Doctrines, Grenades, and Fire on the Move. Improved Listening Post, so we're going to see a very ranged playstyle, I expect, from Mr. Saya. Spirit has, again, 11 elite point cost, so it's quite a bit cheaper. Again, these are getting really cheap. I recall elite point costs were like 15, 16 average before, so the improved focus on the early games is definitely pushing those down. We've got Stricken Scorpions, Janesar, and Atar Kyre. So this is important to note, this is a pretty squishy elite point loadout. Kyre is not super squishy. Like he is by the time you get him out, but he actually has more hit points than Janesar, Stricken Scorpions combined, I think. Maybe not combined, but pretty close. He's got like 5,000 HP, they both got like 2,000, 3,000. And for Boltons, we got a Banshee Ray to give them a shield. We got a Teleport Beacon for Dark Reapers. We'll see if that actually gets used to any great effect. I found this ability really tricky to use properly because you have to walk over slowly, place down your beacon, and then walk away, and you got like 20-30 seconds to actually use it, and it has a really long cooldown. So ultimately, I feel like that ability is really hard to use anywhere near effectively. And then we got improved Plasma Grenades. So nothing exciting there. This map is Charon's Rest. So let's get this started. Initial build orders. Spirit is 3 Bone Center, 2 Dire Avengers. That's not crazy. Triple attacks from Saya, also not crazy. Again, building lots of units early game is pretty common, it seems, from some of the games I've played and watched since the patch. It's my first time really getting into the game in a few months, so I haven't really played since the economic changes, so it's all new to me. But I'm expecting lots of units, lots of wreck. Pretty slow teching, not enough upgrades. Oh yeah, okay, there's the gateway, Warrior Portal, gateway, Protoss. The Warrior Portal even has the same icon, so it's really confusing. And a Webway coming up in the middle, it's a pretty standard spot, covers a nice chunk of the central map. So that's always a good spot for a Webway if you want that flexibility in the middle. Then we got Doctrine Chapel coming in the middle, you can accidentally didn't finish it, that's a bit of a blunder there. So he's going to have to come fix that, but he's probably going to build a Devastator on his high ground here, and that's also pretty powerful on this map. Devastators in this smoke is really tough to deal with, especially as Eldar where you don't really have jump troops. A little bit of skirmishing here. Is he going to finish the Doctrine Chapel? I don't think he's noticed. Bonus Center stealing this bubble. This is huge because the Space Marine playstyle is so heavy on tactical Marines and Devastators. These heavy cover bubbles have actually become way more significant to hold because if you don't have Assault Marines and Space Marines, you can't get them out of this bubble. So the Doctor Trouble getting cancelled, they're basically losing about 100 requisition from that. So that's kind of sucks for Mr. Saya. He's going to have to rebuild that somewhere else. He's going to delay whatever units he wanted to get with that, although not a big deal. It's low on rec anyway. He did cancel one of his attacks. He only went for 2 attacks, which is interesting. He got 4 Servitors as well. So yeah, this bubble is going to be a big deal if Space Marines can't contest it. And he's building up barracks over here, so he's going to get some Assault Marines because he's realizing those bubbles. But Banshees are out, canceling the barracks, going to kill this Servitor. This Servitor is going to come up here, not going to be able to do anything. Maybe call a drop pod down, attacks, try to do some harassment here. There's the 1 Rec Gen, 2 Rec Gens for Saya, 1's being built right now, and 2 for Eldar, both are built, but this one's probably going to get harassed here. But it's going to be a risky harass if he does drop in on it, because the Banshees are here, and I think he's thought better of it. He's pulled back, but he's lost in his 2nd Servitor. There's 2 Servitors down already. Oh, wait, no, he didn't actually kill the Servitor. 1 Servitor down. If he kills this one, that'll be 2. These costs are starting to add up. We do have a barracks coming down here finally, hopefully, but it's going to be attacked as well by these Eldar forces. And we do see all the map control slowly going in favor of Spirit, and we do have a 3rd Rec Jet, so he's going really heavy on Rec. Probably going to start pumping out some Dark Reapers soon. That'd be a good choice. Maybe a 2nd Banshee squad. I don't know. I'd probably get the Dark Reapers first if it was me. Yeah, let's just take a look at his production. He's getting a 2nd Banshee. Okay, that's a good choice. He probably needs to move this over somewhere more central. I would also consider a 2nd Webway up here, perhaps. He needs to take advantage, full advantage of that bubble with these Dire Avengers. He needs to harass this Rec Gen. It's a very aggressive Rec Gen. It's a bit risky. We probably got some Assault Marines coming in. Yeah, Assault Marines have been built, but they're going to take a while to come out. We're going to see this harassment go up here. This is going to die here. These Banshees need to pull back. They're taking free damage. This Listening Post going up here. I don't know if that's necessary. It's useful, but I don't know if it's necessary. It's kind of a waste of like 300 rec or whatever it is now. I'd already built the unit with that money. But, you know, we'll see how this goes. Attack Marines throwing grenade, Banshees taking some damage. Shield upgrade on these. Where is that Soul Shrine? Maybe not a shield upgrade. No, it isn't a shield upgrade. Okay, well, they restored their shields pretty quick. Oh, that was the new Banshee squad. Okay. Okay. It would be nice to see some upgrades from Eldar. Now that he's in this advantageous position. Maybe some power gens, like 1 or 2. Going a little... This is really heavy on Rex, so if you're going to do this, you got to just pump up units constantly. Like, just keep pumping them out. Striking Scorpions are going to come in. Oh, this bow cinder's just going to die for no reason, which is kind of a waste. Not really taking enough advantage of that bubble, I think, to mitigate his damage. Like, he could just pressure this shield gen and sit in that bubble, and then it's really hard to defend if he's over here. So I feel like he has a missed opportunity to do some damage to this shield gen in particular, or kill some servitors. Did the Space Marines replace the servitors? Yes, he did. So he spent a lot of money on servitors so far. We do have the standard coming in, and another unit probably... oh, that's a Death Watch? Okay, so this is a kind of one of those games she's doing the exact right thing. Just run away. Make him pop all his abilities. Just run away. I would teleport this over somewhere closer so he can actually fight and reinforce. He's taking some unnecessary damage there, unfortunately. But otherwise, yeah, in that kind of situation, just let Space Marines pop all their shit, walk away, come back and fight another day. Eldar are really good at that with Fleet of Foot, so that's the way to do it. It's a good transition to the Assault Marines, but I'd like to maybe see some Sniper Scouts. I feel like that'd be a good complement to them. But we'll see. Dark Reavers would be a good choice, or some Shadow Spectres just to harass the shield gens. I'm kind of annoyed that Spirit spent all this money on Rec gens and isn't continuing to pump out units. If you're going to do that, you need to pump out a unit. Like, you should have 3 more units than your opponent if you have that many Rec gens. Do you have a Power Gen going up here? That's good. Nothing else in terms of... Yeah, second Webblade coming up here. That's great. That's going to give them a lot of Webblade coverage on this central stick of the map. We do have this harass going off over here. This gen's going to go down, and that's going to be a blow. The one thing about getting striking Scorpions, I would prefer it if he waited until he could get Jane Zar a bit quicker. He could have had Jane Zar at like 8 minutes, and I think that would have been more useful than the Scorpions are being right now. Scorpions are not that effective against this kind of a comp. They're just too squishy. Like, they're good, but you know, they're a lot better against more not blobby strategies where they can catch units on their own. Where they're blobbing up like this, Scorpion's not the best, honestly. I would prefer having Jane Zar instead. But we'll see how this goes. No one's really going for the Elite Point Generator. That's nothing new. No one ever did that. Bone Center going down here. Losing a lot of Bone Centers unnecessarily. Not building units. Wait, he's building units now. He built a Dark Reaver squad. He lost a Banshee squad somewhere. I just really want more units than Mr. Sai. He's replacing his Rec Gen. I feel like that's a mistake. He's not really taking advantage of that extra Rec income the way I would like. I would prefer a lot more units. So right now, I think Sai actually has the same amount of units, if not more units than him, despite being behind on Rec Gens the entire time. Something died there, probably Servitor. So, this engagement is probably going to go bad for Mr. Eldar. He's kind of blobbing up a little bit. That's only bad if Deathwatch does the Vortex Grenade, and then I think these squads are just going to melt in seconds. I would like to see some upgrades, some Eater player, an Armory, or a Soul Shrine would be good. Soul Shrine's pretty cheap, so I would always recommend getting a Soul Shrine pretty early on as Eldar, because upgrades are really substantial for them. But we'll see how this goes. Looks like they're just kind of posturing a little bit. I feel like Deathwatch. Did he pick a weapon upgrade here? I can't really tell. I don't think so. He might have taken the Flamer. He might take the Missile. I don't know. We go for the Harass here. This is a bad concave here because these units are all going to be trapped with all these units right here. And these guys are going to be useless. They're getting tied up by the Servitors. That's another issue. This is a bad engagement. These guys should have started running sooner. But it looks like they're going to get away more or less unscathed, because these guys should have went this way, in my opinion. Striking Scorpions might have a hard time getting out of here, but everyone else should get out. These Servitors are going to get picked up. It's a pretty expensive loss. Striking Scorpions are going to die here, though, if they don't get out of here real fast. Looks like Striking Scorpions are just barely going to escape. Micro-control's a little wonky here, but looks like they're going to escape. This Assault Marine might harass this. I don't know if they're going to risk it. It's kind of tricky to harass. That's the one benefit to putting that listening post up, is it does punish this sort of harass pretty good while you're fighting somewhere else. But, I don't know, the Assault Marines can beat a listening post, I think, so there's that. The improved listening post, I think, will beat Assault Marines, but I think the regular one will just lose outright. Still no tech for Mr. Spirit? I don't think so. No tech, no upgrades. No, we could see tech pretty soon here from the Space Marines. So these guys, you know, they're probably going to kill this listening post, and they'll probably survive. Although they might just barely die here. I don't think they're completely full health, but it's kind of pretty close between Assault Marines and the listening post. It looks like the Assault Marines are going to lose this. He's probably going to have to jump out of here. But he did a lot of damage to this. Bone Center should probably go repair that. I don't think he has improved listening post. No, he doesn't. So, yeah, he doesn't even need to defend this, really. They're going to die on their own. We do have Saya taking this resource point, putting a power gen there. And we're going to see tier 2 from Mr. Saya coming up right now. Whereas Spirit is still in tier 1. I do believe. Yeah, he's in tier 1. He's spending too much money somewhere. I think he's buying these rec gens. Because he's not really... Like, he's using the rec, to be fair, but he doesn't have as many units as I hope he would have at this point. He's losing a lot of bone singers. Death Watch is redeployed, so he's probably going to drop down somewhere inopportune. This is a good blow. He's killing Attack Squad here. And I think he got a servitor. No, Attack Squad is barely alive, but he's going to die. So that's a pretty big blow. Saya's already starting to look a little small. So he may actually be caught out here. This shield gen might go down. It's going to be hard for him to defend this. So far, not much else going on. Is this upgraded at all? That's not upgraded. This one might be upgraded. This needs to get repaired. This bone center should go repair that. And we do have these Dark Reapers shredding. That's the thing of blobbing up your attacks like this. The Dark Reapers do AoE damage. So if you have more than one squad like that close together, they're all going to take damage. So you want to make sure to try and split your squads a little bit. I know this game isn't Company Heroes or like Dawn War 2, but you still need some micro here if you're going to be successful against this kind of a strategy. This is a good pivot here because this is going to force this Assault Marine squad down. This is Death Watch dropping in with something else, probably another Assault Marine. No, it's the Diomedes. Diomedes is going to be a bit of a tide turner here, but not too substantial. He's got a really good pistol. It's just like 30 DPS. It's not bad. And his melee is also like hits like a truck. That's the one thing about making him a 3-point elite rather than 4 is he hits hard as fuck. But unlike Gabriel, he doesn't hit as hard as Gabriel, but he's faster than Gabriel. So it's a bit of a balancing act. And having him come out 2 minutes earlier is pretty big. But it looks like Diomedes is going to pop his ability, and these units are taking a ton of splash damage. They're just all bunched up, and these Dark Reapers are just shredding them. All these units are taking damage, and he's gonna lose attack squad here. I think maybe 2 attack squads. This bubble is actually could get a little annoying. Yeah, just pull. This is the kind of situation. Just pull out of this radius of the standard. You just pull back, and you're good. Okay, Eldar has the range advantage and the speed advantage. So I think Space Marines side just barely won that kind of encounter, but. He's kind of a bad spot now. Spirit, I don't know if he's tier 2 yet. No, not tier 2 yet. We got a Laz kind of coming up for size. That's going to help him push these shield gens better, but not much else. We do got a third web way up over here. I would have preferred to see a Soul Shrine at this point, actually. We do have more units coming out. Maybe we'll see some pivot tech to Shadow Spectres. Shadow Spectres would be a really good complement, especially if we start seeing Land Speeders or Whirlwinds. We do have a Deathstorm drop pod. That's the benefit of having those Shadow Spectres is Deathstorm drop pods are very deadly, but if you just focus fire it with a lot of anti-vehicle, you can mitigate them. But Dark Reapers are not very good against that because they have to reset up again usually. So it's nice to have something that does just anti-vehicle, true damage kind of stuff. This concave is really bad. Going around the corner like that into that AoE, you're just going to take so much damage. Like, I'm finding people are a little lazy with their micro, and it's going to bite them in the butt. We got Janzar coming out. This is going to be a big advantage here. Janzar is going to shred all these units with her boomerang, and yeah, it's just going to be bad. Also, Janzar is really good against Diomedes. She does a lot of damage per hit. He still does a lot of damage per hit, and he's a lot tankier than her, but like in an even match with some support, I think Janzar usually has the advantage because she's also faster. But it kind of goes both ways. I feel like they kind of counter each other to some extent. Janzar's getting a little aggressive here, though. Diomedes does hit her really hard. They hit each other really hard, so it's a bit of a... Gotta be a little careful of that. We have an army going up, maybe some upgrades. Or just an army for sake of an army. Maybe some tack flamers would be good. Flamers would really punish this kind of comp, because you just catch them with the flamers, and they're all dead. So that might not be a bad choice, honestly. It's kind of an underused ability, I find, even though it's so powerful. It's just people are scared to invest that much power in a unit. But, you know, there's nothing wrong with spending some power to gain a big combat bonus. And you can see this crazy amount of damage coming in here. We do have the Deathstorm coming in. This is a perfect Deathstorm. This is going to catch a ton of the units. But there's enough units there. I think the damage is actually being pretty evenly distributed by all those guns. But it does take the pressure off, which is important. That's good use of it. We still no Soul Shrine. We do have an army. Army is getting some infantry damage. It's not a bad choice. That'll help a lot. Heroes healing up. Spirits, Did they upgrade this? Yeah, he did upgrade this point. Didn't upgrade this point. It's building the power there finally. And he did build up here as well. So Spirit's starting to get the eco advantage, I think. He's building another listening post. These listening posts are going to come in handy too. It's kind of an expensive investment. I guess if you are going to go heavy on these rec gens, then you got to build some listening posts. That's not a bad use of the rec. But I usually prefer units. The benefit of listening posts, of course, is that they punch way above their weight. In terms of how much they cost and how much they can fight, they can usually take on 2 or 3 units, or at least slow them down significantly. Whereas one unit usually is only a match for 1 unit, if that. Bit of a low in the fighting now. We do have armor coming up too, or health, I guess I should say. So the Space Marines are about to be a whole lot stronger with level 1 upgrades, both health and armor. We do have the Soul Shrine finally coming up. I feel like it's pretty late. We do got Shadow Spectres being researched. That's a good choice. That's one of the advantages of having Shadow Spectres available right out of the game. Is it gives you some flexibility with anti-vehicle. Whereas Space Marines, if you fall behind on tech, you're really in a bad spot because you don't have any anti-vehicle except for Scout Mines. Scout Mines are actually not that terrible, but you don't have any anti-vehicle options that aren't Scout Mines for a pretty long time. So that's tricky to really take advantage of. This is a really good flank. Bad for Eldar though, because we got the split between his ranged units and his melee units. That's a great boomerang from James though, doing tons of damage to everything there. That was great. James escaping, no problems at all. Punishing that attack from Mr. Saya, no problem. We do have Machine Code coming up. I would like to see a Whirlwind, I think. Whirlwind would be good. Maybe a Land Speeder. I'd probably go with the Whirlwind first, though. Honestly, I feel like that would be more effective against this kind of blobby army. I would also like to see him get a little bit serious about hunting down these webways. That's one thing I don't see people do enough of, is because these webways are always in pretty predictable spots, right? It's almost always cloaked, because why not? And it's almost always like, on this map, you always see at least these 2 spots. So trying to hunt down those webways would be good, especially because it's going to be hard for Eldar to defend them on the high ground like this. And if you kill those webways, you're basically taking a huge... it's like significant damage to Eldar's shield regen and survivability and speed. Like it really knocks them down a big peg if you kill those. We are seeing some infantry shields. I would like to see the increased wheel gen. That's always a really good upgrade. I know it's expensive, but damn, is it ever good. Especially for your elites, because usually your Eldar elites, the only damage they're taking is to their shields, so you can keep them in the field a lot more present than a lot of other heroes. Like Space Marines, you generally have to pull back to the HQ to get a real healing because they're just so tanky. No more upgrades so far. I would like to see Power Swords. That would be a good choice. That would be a pretty nice boost to Assault Marines. And we're going to see this shield gen get pressured. Dropping the standard on like this, not my favorite tactic. It does delay them and stuff, but I don't know. He just captures it, and then you don't get the standard. And like he's gonna get off of it maybe, but it's kind of a bad engagement, I feel. Land Speeder coming out. I don't know if I like that choice. The Dark Reavers are going to shred it. It's gonna be good against James R and the like, but this Deathwatch squad is probably gonna die here. Shadow Spectres are also gonna counter this Land Speeder pretty handily. I think Eldar could have stayed in that fight a lot longer. I don't know why he's running right now. I think he should have just stayed on the standard. But not a bad choice. We got Wraithguard coming. Wraithguard are going to be a pretty nice boon. This is going to counter the Land Speeder as well. So hopefully we don't see too much investment into Land Speeders. Just use 1 or 2. Just use it as a harassment tool. Assault Marines are going to die here. Diomedes is coming in, but he's back into his listening post, and that might have been a wise decision, actually. This is an extra bit of supportive damage. This Death Sword drop pod, though, is going to be brutal. And what he should be doing here, he should be attacking that Death Sword. Instead, he's taking a lot of free damage. And he's not able to defend this now. So he's going to lose these resources now. I feel like if he would have just attacked the Death Sword drop, but he would have killed it pretty much right away. Wraithguard are somewhere. Wraithguard are coming to support. But he's losing a lot of resources here. So this is a good play from Saya. We do have the Doctrine Chapel over here for last cannons, probably. I would like to see a Whirlwind. I think that'd be a good choice. Probably a Devastator or 2 would be good too, just to negate some of that Eldar mobility and do some AoE damage. Devastators are really deadly against Shadow Spectres as well, so one of the easiest counters to Shadow Spectres is Devastators. Multi-meta upgrade on this Land Speeder, that's pretty risky, but it's pretty effective. He is hunting down his webway, and if he can use that to hunt down the webways, that would be pretty advantageous. In terms of upgrades, we do got Shields 1, and that's about it. Nothing else for other upgrades. A bit of a lull. We do have this being upgraded, I think. So I think economically, still Spirit is quite a bit ahead, but he does almost have Altar Kyre in about 4 minutes or so. So that'll be interesting to see how that changes this around. I think I think Spirit could push his advantage a lot more. He could try and do this, or he could try and harass this. But we'll see how this goes. I think Saya needs to get some attack weapon upgrades. Like, at the same time, I understand he needs to swim power elsewhere. He's probably getting a Dreadnought at this point. And, oh, he's got another Death Storm. He's spending a lot of money on his Death Storm dropouts. That'd be the third one. I think that's an over-investment into them, honestly, because they're starting to get hard countered. Wraithguard are very good against Death Storm. And we did lose an Assault Squad there. I think I would have preferred to see a Whirlwind or some more infantry upgrades, maybe some attack upgrades like Flamers. Plasma Guns would be good too, especially against these Wraithguard. This Land Speeder should try and run off on its own, maybe hunt down some more webways. If he could just keep killing a webway, it'd be nice. Using him if his army is not the most effective thing, because one little slip up and it's going to die. It's going to get hit by this Wraith. Nope, okay, not getting hit. I think he's dropping down a Death Storm. No, that's just the Death Watch. I'm not sure why Spirit is running away from this as much as he is. I feel like he could stand and fight a lot more than he is. But this kind of works to his advantage, because these units are getting overextended outside the support of these units. That's just Eldar using his fleet of foot, but this is going to be another Death Storm coming in here. We're going to see if he focus fires it or runs away. He should focus fire it, but no, he's not doing it. I think he should have just focused it, but I don't know. That's his call, I guess. We do have tier 3 for Eldar, so we might see some Wraith Blades soon, and that's going to be really tough to deal with without those Plasma Guns on those attacks. So that's what I would suggest as next upgrade. Let's get some Plasma Guns. Plasma Guns are a massive DPS boost for attacks. Like, people really underestimate it. That's why I was really against buffing attack base DPS. Back when the game came out, they were much lower DPS than they are now. But they have more health, so I thought they were really balanced before, but now I think they got overbuffed, honestly, because people want attacks to be better. But, you know, gonna lose attack squad here unnecessarily. I think Spirit has all the pieces to win this game. We do have tier 3 coming from Space Marines, and that's a questionable decision to me. I feel like he could have got more mileage out of tier 2. Killing this webway is going to be nice, but this Land Speeder is taking some damage from these Shadow Spectres. Now, they're about to... oh, they lose their focus on it, though, unfortunately. Thanks to the Self-Cloak, but Land Speeder, I think, is going to die here unless he can defend it. He might kill Jane Czar, though. Jane Czar might go down if he just shoots her. Jane Czar, it looks like she's just going to barely get away. He could probably... yeah, Jane Czar's going to get away. Good harassment over here. Killing the resources over here. There's still a power node there, but, you know, it's good. Let's see, building here. Hard to keep track of what everyone builds in this. We're going to see some Devastators come out, and that's a good counter to most what Eldar has. The combo with that, I would probably like to say Whirlwind, but Devastators are a good choice against this kind of mobby, Dire Avenger Banshee mob. It's going to do a ton of AoE damage, and once you get like a critical mass of them, it becomes really hard to fight. And we do have Saya Sand on top upgrades, getting infantry damage too. That's going to combo really well with the Devastators as well. Tier 3 coming up. Probably building another Servitor. Building lots of more Servitors. Gonna repair this Land Speeder. That's good. I would like to see a bit more harassment, but we try and get these webways knocked out. We might see an orbital here, which could be good if he gets it like up here or something. That's the benefit of the Land Speeder. He can get vision for the orbital. No, that's kind of a... it's a standard coming down. He's going to pin these Banshees down. It's not going to be that effective, though. I think that's a waste of the standard, honestly. But it will help him push in here for about a minute if he consolidates his army. Any more upgrades from him? Shields 2, yeah. Infantry, though, not vehicle. No vehicle. No upgrades for these Wraith Guard. As a second squad of Wraith Guard. I would just like to see some Wraith Blades at this point, honestly. Instead of a Wraith Guard, I feel like that'd be better against Diomedes and whatnot. Diomedes is gonna get killed here. I think Standard is captured. Wasted the Standard, in my opinion. Diomedes is gonna go down here as well. I don't know what the rest of the units are doing. They're on the wrong side of the map. Diomedes is gonna die. Shield Jet's gonna go down. It's gonna give Spirit a big eco boost. It's gonna kill this barracks as well. So no more Assault Marines, no more Sniper Scouts. Not that we saw most of that anyway. But the Assault Marines is kind of a big deal. Land Speeder is somehow surviving, although barely. This Death Watch jumping in. I don't know about this. I think Spirit is probably gonna... he's got another squad of Shadow Spectres. He needs to get some more stuff. I feel like he get like a Fire Prism would be good. Even a Falcon would be really good, honestly. Falcons are really good. He doesn't have a lot of anti-vehicle, so I think Falcon would be extremely effective. I think, oh, it looks like Land Speeder is going to go down. Multi-Land Speeder down. That's a pretty big blow. We do have Charon on the field as well. I think this game's pretty handily in Spirit's hands at this point. He's got the eco advantage. He's got the bigger army. He has the objective advantage. He's going to kill this shield gem, no problem. And then at this point, he could probably start pushing the turret. There's not a whole lot you could do. Charon is absolutely one of the best heroes for just besieging because these Eldritch Storms just do so much damage. And they are a massive counter to Devastator play. Even without grabbing stuff and blowing it up, like Charon is just an absolute beast. I actually think he should be more expensive. He should be like 6 or 7 CP for how good he is, honestly. But yeah, we do have the Doctrine Chapel going down there, so we are seeing him replace the Doctrine Chapel up here, which is a good move, but I feel like this is a very bad position. These guys aren't healing. That's bad. I would like to see some Wraith Blades. We do have a Dreadnought being built in the drop pod, but he's got more than enough to do with Dreadnought. He's got like 3 Dark Reavers, 2 Shadow Spectres, 2 Graveguard. Vehicles are just not the way to go against this composition. Not, at least, well, I guess you can get away with Dreadnought, but it's going to be risky. I think it's just going to die. But economic damage going off here. I think Spirit has this in the bag. Again with the Deathstorm drop pods, it's just blowing so much money. That's like 4, 5? That's 2,500 requisition and like 250 power on the largely ineffective Deathstorm drop pods because Spirit just keeps running away from them. So I feel like this has been they've been a pretty bad investment after like that first one. The first one was okay. Like it's always nice to have one in reserve for like a panic defense, but at this point they're not going to be effective. All he has to do is just right click on it and it's going to die instantly with those Wraithguard and Shadow Spectres and Dark Reavers. So I feel like it's a bad investment. I feel like a Whirlwind would be the way to go here. A Whirlwind or 2 will punish the blobbing pretty heavily, but at the same time it might be a bit past. It might be a bit too late for that. I think at this point. I think at this point the eco lead is just so heavily stacked against Saya that there's nothing he can really do to get back in this game. But then again, as you can see by the progress bar here, we still got another 2/3 of the game, or another third of the game. So, you know, it's going to take a while for Spirit to finish this out, and perhaps he makes some critical mistakes that let Saya turn it around. But so far, it's looking like Spirit just needs to attack, move the turret, and he'll win. But we'll see. You know, I've seen people turn around games like this because someone gets in a lead like this, and they don't really take advantage of it, and they let their opponent build up and, you know, get prepared. We do have more upgrades. It looks like level 2 upgrades, infantry and health for Saya. We do we do have level 3 shields and level 1 damage. I would like to see more damage. Some vehicle upgrades for those Wraithguard would be really nice too, or even the soul recall capacity. That's always useful because that's the thing about Wraith units in this game is you should never really be losing them unless you get like stunned when you try and recall, because the recall just keeps them alive, which is why they're so expensive. That's the thing. People don't use Wraith units very effectively. They ignore the Wraith upgrades when they shouldn't, and it doesn't work out well for them. I think we are going to see this get punished. This is going to be the last of Saya's economy going down here. Diomedes, it's not even worth trying to defend this, man. Like, you can't. But he's going to try. Diomedes is going to drop the Dreadnought in, drop in Deathwatch or Deathstorm. See, this might actually be okay, because he did manage to drop him in and knock him down, and this Deathstorm is actually going to be actually brutal. He's not focus firing the Deathstorm. He's focus firing the Dreadnought, and that Deathstorm is just obliterating the infantry here. This Dreadnought's not going to last very long. Diomedes is actually mopped up over here. So this is actually, color-based surprise, it's actually being turned around. Like I said, Saya's turning it around. I wasn't expecting this at all. I feel like Spirit mismanaged himself here. And we're going to see a lot of these other units retreat with no shields. But again, these units are taking massive damage from Chainsaw and Charon, so these last cannons aren't going to last much longer. But these Wraithguard not recalling are going to die, and that's pretty bad. We've got some Wraith Blades out. That's going to be really hard for that Dreadnought to deal with, but not impossible. But at this point, I feel like Dreadnought's going to go down. I think Spirit just has too much army for Saya to deal with. I mean, Saya's down to, you know, a few Devastators and Diomedes, whereas Spirit is sitting on like a bajillion Bone Sanders for some reason. That's the thing about Bone Sanders people forget, is they do cost upkeep. You don't want 1,000 of them. It just costs upkeep. So yeah, he actually has more Bone Sanders than anything else. He has tons of resources too. He has 500 power. He could be getting all sorts of upgrades. He's getting some vehicle upgrades, which is good. I'd like to see maybe another squad of Wraith Blades. Oh, 2 more squads of Wraith Blades queued up. There we go. If you're going to use these Wraith Blades though, perhaps using the soul recall stuff is pretty good. That's the thing. The other thing you can do is you can get more soul recalls by building more infinity portals. So sometimes if you have a lot of Wraith units, building a second infinity portal is a good investment because you can recall those units more frequently, and then you can have 4 or 5 of them and they just never die. I would like to see him using his warrior portal connected webways kind of ability to increase his mobility. We do have a Predator? No, that's a Imperial Knight Paladin coming out, and that's going to do a ton of damage to these units all blobbed up over here. So that's kind of doing okay, but I don't know why Spirit is really focused on killing the economy. He could just be killing this turret, honestly. And he's letting Saya kind of pick off units one by one and kind of stay in the game just long enough. He got the Paladin, and really he should never have gotten to this point. Spirit should have finished him off before the Paladin could even hit the field. But at this point, we're actually seeing the Paladin's kind of turning this around. I completely forgot he was an option. Granted, with enough Wraithguard and stuff, are we gonna see Eldritch Storm? Are we gonna see it channel something? Maybe channel these Dire Avengers into it, and then that's gonna be really tough for the Paladin to deal with the Eldritch Storm. But not channeling it right now, it's just chasing in cloud form. If he gets the actual storm going up here between these Wraith Blades and their ability, again losing a Wraith Blade there, just wasteful. Yeah, we do got the storm coming up. He's gonna do a ton of AOE slow, a ton of AOE damage, and he's gonna mop up most of these units. Paladin's probably gonna escape just fine here. You can see how slow it's moving though with that ice effect. Again, the Eldritch Ultimate is the best in the game by far if you use it properly. But yeah, we are seeing the Paladin mop up these Wraith Blades. So that's 2 squads of Wraith Blades being killed. Not using Soul Recall is a huge blunder. That's something I think people forget it exists, honestly. People just forget about these abilities. So we're saying a much reduced Eldar army, and the Paladin is going to be a pretty imposing presence as long as he plays his cards right. He can kite the Wraith Guards and the Wraith Blades, so he does have to worry because Eldar does have all the tools he needs to counter it. But as long as he just focuses on picking off the squads here and there and just staying alive, I think he can stay in this game. He doesn't have to well, I don't know. He really shouldn't be in this game, but he is. I guess is what I'm saying, because like Spirit has all the advantages. He has tons of money, and we do have another Death Storm drop pod coming. I'm kind of questioning that continual investment into Death Storms. The last one was pretty effective, and we are seeing these Wraith Blades just absolutely chew apart the Imperial Knight Paladin. Like, not even a contest here. That's one of the benefits of having that melee armor increase in melee. 104 DPS. Wraith Blades are really a force to be reckoned with if you're a vehicle. But, you know, he is doing a ton of damage too. He's countering a lot of Wraith Blades. They're not being used properly, unfortunately. But if they were, man, that thing would be dead. We are seeing some vehicle upgrades as well, so these Wraith Blades are doing more damage. I think Spirit just needs to close out this game. I think Saya's kind of doing an okay job staying in it with the Paladin and some other stuff, but he just doesn't have the economy to buy any units. And he's putting so much into Death Storms, which I think is just a mistake. We do have Spirit being a bit cheeky and capturing this point. So yeah, almost the entire economy is in the hands of Spirit. So Spirit can just close this out whenever, I think. He just needs to attack move this. We got Deathwatch teleporting out. Paladin's coming in for some healing. And that's the last generator for Mr. Saya going down. So at this point, I think we're going to see Eldar push in and kill him. Maybe put a webway up here. That's everything I would like to see. Oh, I did get the increased shield right now. Excellent. So the other units are regenerating their shields very, very, very quickly. The Janes are getting a little greedy here, though. I'm not sure why she's doing that. Paladin might actually be able to pick off Janesar here, just because he does so much damage per shot, and she's slowed down. He might actually be able to get her. No, he's walking away. Deathwatch and Tex are trying to retake this using the standard. I mean, I guess. That's the problem with Spirit's elite point loader, as well as he's starting to float elite points, and he just simply can't use them. So if you're gonna play a style where you get all those early game elites, you really have to know how to close out the game. I feel like Spirit's not really closing it out the way he needs to be. We're gonna see an orbital come up here, and I don't know about that. It's not gonna. This is kind of a waste of the orbital, honestly. It's not gonna accomplish anything. But oh well, I guess. I'm just gonna fast forward because it's getting pretty repetitive. At this point, Spirit could just win the game outright. We do have that Fire Prism getting picked off by the Paladin, which is a pretty good move. The Orbital is going to do some damage to that listening post. Are we going to see Spirit come in? No, he's harassing economy. I remember this when I played Covenant Heroes 2, is people were obsessed with just constantly harassing the economy, even past the point where it mattered. You already know your opponent has no economy. Okay, he is pushing in to the base here, getting stunned. We do have the mass recall, but we do have the Death Storm coming in right behind all those units, so let's actually pause it down, because I think this is going to be a pretty bad encounter for Mr. Spirit. His infantry are just getting chewed apart here by this Death Storm. Again, not focusing the Death Storm with his units. So he's going to kill this turret, maybe? Just maybe? Maybe? Yeah, he's going to kill the turret. Okay. So that's a big eco boom. And he just needs to replace his units. He has all these bone seams. He could build like 3 or 4, like just build more production structures and just pump up more units at once. You gotta really economize late game escalation phase 4 Dawn War 3. Like you can't just have one production structure. You gotta play it more like a Command and Conquer and just get 2 or 3 of those and pump them out, pump them out, pump them out. We do have Fire Prism out, but Diomedes is gonna kill this resources. So I think in some respects Saya is clawing his way back in a little bit, but it's certainly, I don't think it's gonna be enough. Ultimately, I feel like Spirit is still just so far ahead that we're just waiting for Spirit to get his shit together and kill him off at this point. Because again, the power core is exposed. All he has to do is just attack it, and he will win. So we will see how this goes, I guess. A bit faster here. Get something happen. Going heavy on these Fire Prisms, I feel like that's a mistake against the Paladin. He's just been so effective at one-shotting them in the butt. So I don't know. It's not a bad choice, but it's kind of a weaker choice, I feel. It's gonna be good for pressuring the power core though. So I guess there's that. He just has so many units. He just needs to push A and left click. He's got another Death Storm drop pod from Saya. It's, again, way too many Death Storm drop pods. They haven't been that effective. 1 or 2 of them have been good, but most of them have just been a waste of money, honestly. If he would have bought, 7 more units instead of all those drop pods, or especially all that power, I think it'd be a very different game. Paladin's just forced to just stay home and defend, and this just lets Spirit just amass some unstoppable army here. He's still getting upgrades. He's still harassing, and like, come on, what's the point? If you're gonna do that, harass with part of your army and go attack with the rest. Like, yeah, he's gonna maybe kill Deathwatch. Okay, but he lost Striking Scorpions and 2 Banshee squads for that. I don't know about that. Kyr's gonna do something to this Paladin. I don't know. I'm questioning some of these decisions being made at this point in the game. You see, the Paladin just destroys these Fire Prisms. That's why he's not. Fire Prisms are not the best choice against a Paladin. They're much better against Solaria, but against a Paladin, he's just so good at countering them that you're better off with Wraith Guard or like smaller targets. Shadow Spectres are always the way to go, I think, because they're just much cost effective. And I would. That's the other thing is. We're just kind of waiting for him to get his shit together, I guess. At this point, we're just waiting. I mean, this game's been over for a while. He's just massing up units. He's doing his harassment or whatever. We're seeing Saya try and rebuild as many Devastators as he can, but these Devastators are just not effective, and they just get picked off. The only thing I can see that would turn this game around is if Saya manages like some miracle and wipes out all these units and is able to, do some crazy push, but I just don't see it happening at this point. So really, it's just on Spirit. See, he finally actually right-clicked the Death Storm, and you saw how ineffective it just died instantly. And that's all you gotta do. We do got the Orbital here for reasons unknown, and I think we're pretty close to Saya surrendering. Spirit is just, I don't know, practicing his macro, I guess, at this point. I do like seeing this Paladin, though. It does kind of show the situation he's good at. Like, he's just doing so much damage to his Fire Prisms, and he's just so effective. He's kind of like Rodan, where he can like one-shot squads, and Fire Prism just not able to deal with him. But now that they're shooting him, so it's a bit of a soft counter scenario where the Fire Prisms do a ton of anti-vehicle damage. But we do have a push coming in here, it looks like, and I think this is going to be it. We're going to see him push in. Nope, it's just a Saya surrender finally. Alright, well that's the end of that game. Thanks for watching. Bye.